Well, folks, I'm not sure where the last one ended, so we're basically going to start from scratch, and that is okay, right? We're just going to roll with the punches. And as I was talking to someone this morning or earlier today, I said, well, I'm really having tech issues today, and I know it's the collective energy. So, yeah, bummer, but it's all good. It's all good. We're just going to roll with the punches. That's what light workers do anyway. And we're going to make sure that we get this done today. Nothing is going to stop me from getting this information out to you. So I know that I've lost you, and I'm just going to give it a moment so you can get back in, and we're going to make sure that everybody who signed up for this is going to be able to get the information that they need, because that's really what's important. So, okay, I see we're back online. Thank you for your patience. I told you we were having tech issues today. So I've asked the angels to please help me with this. And here we go. Okay. So I don't know where we left off, but like I said, I'm going to start from scratch and we're going to get all the information that you needed. But really what I was saying is I decided to create this workshop because I'd been having issues with my energy levels and I wasn't able to ground and protect my energy like I had been able to in the past. So I started tweaking my techniques. I started taking the techniques from my colleagues and mentors and really making them my own. And I was able to finally, knock on wood, get this right for myself. And I have been rejuvenated and energized and feel so much better ever since. And as I said earlier, if you are here watching this video today, you are a light worker. You have come here on this planet at this time. You chose this to help usher in the new way of living, the new energy, the new vibration, all of that good stuff. And so I think that's wonderful. And congratulations, you made it this far. You know, I really see it as we have been working our whole lives since we were born to get to this point that we are at right now. And of course, it's no mistake with all the unrest and the craziness that's going on, especially here in the United States, that we are here to help usher in this new high vibration of light. And so you probably really have been trying to fix your energy systems to align with that. And it's been difficult. I know it's been difficult for me. So I want to share these things with you today that I feel have really helped me and have gotten me through to this point. And I've been feeling wonderfully, probably for the last month. I've really been able to make them my own. So take the techniques that I'm giving you today and practice them, and feel free to tweak them to fit your energy level. Because that's what it's all about, is putting your personal stamp on this. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about why it's been difficult to manage our energy and why it's really important right now to really get it right. Because I think it really matters. I know it matters. And it mattered to me. And that's why I kind of went on this journey to figure out how I could do better for myself so I could help people on a larger scale. So as you all know, and you probably know, and if you don't, I'm here to tell you that the energy of our entire planet is changing. It has been changing since probably January of 2020 and a little bit before then. There are new vibrations at a much higher level that have entered our planet, and our own DNA at a cellular level, little tongue twister, it's being upgraded because our physical and our energetic bodies, the way they are, cannot handle the new light codes the way they were. So this is just God's plan. It's how things are going to be. And I think it's wonderful that we're being upgraded, because that means life in itself is being upgraded for us and for all of our future generations to come. Thank God, right? However, we have to go through some stuff right now in order to get us to that point. But that's why you're here. That's why I am here. We chose to come here during this time, believe it or not, with all the craziness. We said, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to help. So let's do it. Let's really step into our full power, into who we truly are at a soul level, and let's make a positive difference on this planet. And in order to do that, we're going to need to change how you handle your own energy. And that's what today is about. So we have to tune into our energy centers. We have to match this new vibration. So have you been feeling tired and sleepless nights? Have you been feeling drained? Does going out to the grocery store take all that you have within you? These are just a few of the things that I have experienced. And so I know that you're experiencing them too. And you're not alone, by the way. There are so many people. Most of my clients are having this issue. I have been having this issue. People in my family are having this issue. And so you're not alone. And this is the reason why it's happening, is because we are being called to fully step into and align with who we are at our core. And this is because we're here to complete what we came here to do. Our mission, our soul's purpose. We are here to assist in bringing in this new energy and a new way of living that is more aligned with the light. So just take a moment and soak that in a little bit, because I think that's important to know, that we are here to help the world readjust its vibration. That's pretty big. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty big. So for me, it doesn't get bigger than that. Now I'm going to, let me just see if we've got everybody. I know I was still waiting for someone, and forgive me if I pause just for a moment. Okay, well, this video is going to be up in this group, so if for some reason anybody missed the beginning part of it, it will still be here. Okay. So now, having said all of that about the new energy and why we're here and why this is happening, this also comes with a warning. And I wouldn't really be doing my job if I didn't share the bad with the good, right? I mean, seriously. We're not afraid of that. We all know that there's dark. We know that there's the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, and everything in between. So I just want to kind of go through that a little bit with you, that as you step into your true power, your light begins to shine brighter. And as it shines brighter, we are attracting many high vibrational people, situations, beings, and so on and so forth. And here's where the warning comes into play, because as we attract more light, we're also a beacon and attracting low energy, low vibrational beings, low vibrational situations, and all that good stuff. So this is why it's really important to protect your energy, to protect ourselves, our family, our homes, our property. So important. And there really is no cheat code for this, unfortunately. We just have to do the work. We've got to learn how. We have to protect ourselves, and then we have to fine-tune it to what works best for us. Because the way it works best for me may not be the way it works best for you, right? So I see it as like a piano, tuning a piano. If we get a little bit too high, we got to bring it down a little bit. If we get too low, we got to bring it up. We have to find that happy medium where we feel good, where we feel energized. So my question to you is, have you been using your usual methods of protection, but still find yourself tired and drained and down and low vibes? I mean, some days I'm just like, whoo, I don't want to get out of this bed. And if those things happen, I want you to honor that, because sometimes it means that our bodies just need to process all that we're going through. And once we process it, then it's gone. So we kind of have to fill into those times. But I'm speaking about something a little bit different. I'm speaking about protecting ourselves from those lower vibrations that we attract because we are shining our light. So once I started using these techniques and tweaking them, like I said, it's not an overnight fix, but it's definitely putting you on the right track. And that's what this is going to be about. Putting you on the right track, setting that in motion so that you are able to start working with your energy and recognizing when it's low, recognizing when it's too high. Believe it or not, it can be too high. I've learned that the hard way. You feel me? So, the more work we do and the more we're faithful in practicing these techniques, the better it's going to get for us. Can I get a thumbs up on that? Or a heart? Give me something. I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, right? Perfect. Okay. So I want to start talking about some simple things that can assist you. And they're more practical things. And then we're going to get into all these detailed techniques that I was talking about, the fun stuff. Okay. But these things are very important too. It's very important because I noticed if you do one without the other, there's something lacking. So if you can do all of these things or pick a few that work best for you and try them out, it's really going to make a difference. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is how important it is to feed your body. And I am talking about nutrition. I am talking about healthy foods. Your body needs fuel. It needs fuel to operate, especially with all the new vibrations and our cellular DNA changing. Your body has to process that. And so it's so important to eat whole foods, lots of fruits and veggies, especially root veggies, by the way. Those are absolutely amazing. Some carbs are good. And of course, you have to have your lean protein. Now, if you can eat organic, absolutely do that. Please, please, please. Not everybody is able to do that. Okay, so that might be something you might want to consider adding into your routine is switch. And if you start with a few things here and there, I have been doing that recently, and it has made a huge difference in how I feel. It's like, oh my goodness, my vibration is good. My body feels lighter. My joints are more easily moving, okay, for lack of a better term. So those are a few things that we can do. But you also need to ensure that you're hydrated. And this is so important, people. I cannot stress this enough. I can always tell when I need to drink more water. I get headaches, my body aches, I feel lightheaded. These are just some of the symptoms of not being hydrated. And with the new energy coming in, this high vibration, we must keep our bodies hydrated. It's so important. And if you can add a little bit of lemon squeeze into your water or some ginger, this is really going to help cleanse and energize your system. So give that a try. Those are a few things that I have been doing that have really made a big difference in my energy levels. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, practical exercising, is keeping your energy clean through keeping your body clean. Okay, so showering and washing your hair daily are a must, especially if you're working with clients, if you're working with any type of energy work for yourself, if you're doing any divination work. This is so very important. You have to wash it all away into the light. And I want to tell you that doing that directly after working with clients or doing your energetic practices is the best thing to do. Even if you can't completely fully shower between clients, wash your hands, okay? And as I do this, I am always saying I wash it all away into the light. It's all about your intention, okay? And I'll tell you, if I see clients, if I have a busy day, I shower in the morning And I usually take a salt bath in the evening or directly after all of my appointments. And so if you are one who is a light worker and works with clients or works with your own energy, this is very important to do to keep your energy clean. And I know that seems simple, but that's the beauty in it, is keeping things simple. Your day-to-day things, even brushing your teeth after seeing clients. It's all about cleansing and freeing up that energy and getting rid of anything you absorb. Because I'll tell you, as we are high vibing, we are also absorbing a lot of energy. And as a light worker, I know I tend to want to just take things for people. Let me just take that from you. You'll feel better. I can handle it. But it does build up in our energy systems and in our energy bodies. And that's why it's important to really wash it away. And a good technique to do this is, while you're showering, is to see the divine white light coming through to the water. Envision this, giving yourself a divine white light shower. It's amazing. Nothing better. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is taking salt baths and scrubs. If you don't have a bathtub, that's okay. You can get salt scrubs. You can also get a foot bath and put Epsom salt in the foot bath and make sure that you're really cleansing all of that away. This is a lifesaver. I can't tell you, especially for those of you who work with energy or practice divination. This is so very important if you practice Reiki, you do any energy work, you do reading sessions. Please take my advice on that, okay? Any type of oracle, tarot cards, even meditation, you'll want to do some sort of salt scrub or bath when you are complete. Because here's the thing with this. Oh, and I learned this the hard way, not just once. Because, I say, oh, I can handle it. Oh, it's going to be okay. But I'll tell you, if you wait until the evening, if you wait a few hours, it is too late. It is going to be too late. If you feel floaty, if you feel lightheaded, you have waited too long. Okay? So if you do forget, or if you get busy and you move on with normal life, it's okay. It's not going to be completely detrimental. Just get it as soon as you can, because if you don't do it, it could be detrimental to your health. All the energy that you just absorbed will start to manifest itself in your body as health issues. And we don't want that. Being a light worker, we really have to keep our bodies as well as we possibly can. Okay? All right. So, trust me on this one. The struggle is real. Make sure that you do your salt baths. Okay, so very important. So very important. The other thing that I want to share with you is, it's a good thing. Chocolates. Who doesn't love chocolate? Now, eating dark chocolate is the best thing to do. A lot of people don't like dark chocolate, but if you stop eating milk chocolate and you start eating dark chocolate, milk chocolate just doesn't taste good anymore. It's almost, especially if you're sensitive to organic or whole foods, it just doesn't taste right. There's something that, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't work. So try the dark chocolate, especially if it has pomegranate or cherry. This will really bring you back down to earth, especially when you get really floaty up in your head. And do you all know what I mean about feeling floaty? It's basically your grounding has given way, okay? Or you didn't ground in the first place, and you've practiced with energy, and now you're up too high, and it doesn't feel so good. It really feels all up in here, okay? So if you know what I mean, I'd love to see a thumbs up on that one. I know I'm not the only one who experiences that, right? Okay, yes, exactly. Yep, perfect. Okay, so eat that chocolate. Keep some by your bed. I mean, I have actually, a little tickle. I have actually kept some dark chocolate by my bed after having a busy week with clients, because I would find myself awakening in the middle of the night, feeling so drained. drained to the point where I can't sleep. And just a nibble of that dark chocolate, it just brings you back down to earth. And then, of course, I bubble and I protect and I disco ball and all that good stuff that I'm going to teach you today. Perfect. Now, I love having tools in my spiritual toolbox or toolkit, however you want to call it. And part of those kits include high vibration angel energy infused spray, which I use every day in my house, around my aura, in my car. I use it on my family, on my dog. Oh, they just love it when I start spraying them. But it feels good, and they admit it. So energy infused bath salts are the best. And my go-to is Palo Santo sticks, as well as sage. And I love loose sage. Loose sage just burns so fresh. And so if you're interested in getting an angel energy infused kit to help protect and cleanse your energy, I do have those for purchase on my website. You can just go on there and purchase a kit, and it's going to come directly to you, handmade with love, infused with angel energy protection. And I think you're really going to love these. I created those based on the struggles that I have had with keeping my energy clean and my vibration high. So it's really cool. I'll definitely post the link to that and get that up out to you guys as soon as possible, because these kits have been lifesavers. Not only does it come with the bath salts that have been infused with angel energy, it comes with crystals, the wood, the sage, all those wonderful things, and always a special little gift from the angels just for you. So I know you're going to love those. So let's get started on our techniques. Oh, thanks, Sharon. She says, love this. Thank you. You bet. Thanks for joining and sticking through with the tech issues today. Did you have to go off and rejoin? I told you I was having tech issues today, but I think we're good. I think they're gone. It's always a challenge. And talk about staying high vibe when the dark wants to come in and crush that light. Oh, nothing's going to dim my light. We're going to keep it moving. And what it does, it creates that fortitude within me. She says yes. Well, sorry about that. I'm glad you're back with me. Okay, so let's talk about techniques. These are the best. And under files in the group, you will be able to find the graphics that I have created to give you visuals to help you practice these techniques. Because I don't know about you, I'm a visual aid type of person. And if I can see what someone is talking about, I can really envision this in my mind. So I wanted to make it as easy for you as possible. So I went ahead and created those graphics for you. Let me know if you have any issues getting those up and running. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the disco ball of protection. Okay. And I know, Sharon, you're familiar with this, but I want to let everybody else know what this is all about and how I've had to tweak this since learning this new technique. So before you do anything in the morning, and that includes looking at your phone, using the restroom, or getting out of bed, the very first thing you should do when you awake is to place yourself in a disco ball of protection. And I also place my family and my pet in this disco ball of protection every day. Okay. And do it as you see fit, whatever works best for you. You might want to try it with yourself first, and then you could move on to putting your family and your pets and all that good stuff into the disco ball. I've even put my business in the disco ball to protect it. So maybe I should put tech stuff in the disco ball of protection. My computer, my phone, all my microphone, all that good stuff, my webcam. That just gave me a great idea, because this works. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to envision a disco ball. We all know what a disco ball looks like, right? You're going to envision it larger than life, larger than you, 6 to 7 feet wide, around on all sides. Okay, and this is to create a mirror effect. Now, here's what I learned about why this is important and why it's so protective, is that the dark does not like to see itself. It doesn't like to see what it's become. It doesn't like to see the reality of itself. Okay, so you put yourself in that disco ball and it's going to deflect. It's going to turn around the other way and go look for something else. And this is what we want. Okay, so you're going to put yourself inside of this disco ball once you've envisioned it in your mind. And then you're going to fill in all the gaps that are between the mirrors with divine white light. Okay, so disco ball of mirrors, filling it with divine white light. And then what you're going to do is fortify it. You're going to fortify it, and this is the technique I've chosen. There's two, with Archangel Michael's blue flame of protection. There is also putting Saint Germain's violet flame, which, if you know anything about the violet flame, great. If you don't, basically what that means, the violet flame transmutes negativity into positive energy. Okay, so I like to do the blue flame of protection. That just works best for me. But try both of them and see how that works. And please take a look at the graphic on this, okay? Because that's really going to give you an idea of what this looks like. Now, one thing I recently learned about this and I really want to share. I was putting myself in this ball of protection and I was filling it with light and I was filling it with the Archangel Michael's protection. However, I wasn't making sure that this disco ball went around the back of me. I thought I was doing it, but I was creating a circle like this, and I wasn't going to the front and back. And when I did a cleanse, I actually found that there were some things in the back of my aura. Okay? The dark is always looking for a weak spot, and they found it in the back of me, okay? Because I was not fully putting the disco ball of protection completely around my body. I was going like this, okay? So now it's like this, okay? And however that feels good to you to do that. So what I was doing, I would get up and sit on the edge of my bed. I would create a disco ball with my power finger. I would step into it. I would put white light. I would put Archangel Michael's blue flame. Okay, perfect, right? Nope. You got to make sure it goes all the way around and all the way under you as well. So very important. Now, so you know, I had all that removed, returning to my bright, shiny self. And what's interesting and what you're going to learn as you work with this energy, you're going to know when something's off. Once you get clean and cleansed, you are going to know when something is off, okay? So you really have to pay attention every day to your energy. If you feel like something's got in, it probably has. So that's when you call a professional to have it all removed, okay? Call me. Okay, so I love that. That has really been one of the better protection techniques that I have learned, I can say, in years. I don't know, have any of you tried this sort of protection technique? And if so, I'd love to hear how that worked out for you. Let's just take a look here. Oh no. I see that someone put a sad face, and I bet that's because we were interrupted, right? Okay, we're still good. Looks like. Okay, perfect. Everybody still with me? Let's get a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you all for sticking with me on these tech issues. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about working with the archangels and how they can help protect you. So I want you to give this disco ball a try. This is a technique, it's very simple, that, yes, Sharon says it works great. Good reminder about wrapping entire body. Yes. You know, I thought I had it and I knew something was off. So there you go. And you really want to be careful. The angels are telling me to mention this. You really want to be careful about underneath you. You don't want anything to come up from below. Okay. So make sure you're just wrapping all the way around, however that works for you. Try a few different things and see what works best. So I always ask the archangels to camouflage me when I'm doing any sort of divination work. And I've really found that to be helpful. So I do all the grounding, the disco ball, cleanse my space, but I also ask the archangels to provide camouflage for me. And I really feel like that has helped because everybody has stuff, okay? And this really goes for the light workers who practice and for people who do, like I say, divination. Divination is pendulum, oracle cards, tarot cards, tea leaves, anything like that where you are talking with spirit, okay? So just ask the archangels to camouflage you and then to give you a signal or to let you know when it's all good. And it usually happens pretty quickly when you do that. So that is just one of the things that has really helped me. It takes 5 minutes, if that. Because usually what happens after asking for the archangel's camouflage, I'll sit for a moment and I'll usually just know that it's good and we move on. So give that a try. Now I want to talk to you about grounding because grounding has been very difficult, not only for me, but for my clients. And this is one of the biggest complaints that I get is that they don't feel grounded. And when they are grounding using the usual method, which is the roots into the earth method, they are feeling bogged down, they are feeling heavy. And I think this is just happening because of the higher energies. And since our vibration is raising and lifting, and aligning with the light more so than ever, we really need to have freedom with our movement, but while maintaining the grounding, okay? So I have 2 techniques I want to share with you. So the first one I call the silver strand method, okay? And this is utilizing a few things that we're going to talk about right now. So I want you to first find your power finger. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it works great. Okay, so you're going to take your dominant hand. Mine is my right. So if you're left, and you are going to count to 5 using each finger. And when a finger seems to be dominant or more prevalent than the other, that is going to be your power finger. And typically it's your index or your middle finger. So if you go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one stands out the most? Or you can start with your pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I do this, I notice my middle finger is dominant. So that is my power finger. So I'm going to give you a moment to practice that a bit. And if you have questions, let me know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how that 3 was really prevalent, how it stood out. That's how I know. Okay, so see how you know. And if you figure that power finger out, then let me know. Okay, so what you're going to do, and this power finger is going to help you in more ways than one, because I'm going to be doing a couple more workshops later on in your power finger is definitely going to be part of the topic. Okay. But this is just something that's going to help you ground. So you're going to find your power finger, middle finger. Isn't that funny? It's kind of cute. So your middle finger, what you're going to do is you're going to use that finger to pull silver strands from the soles of your feet, and you're going to send them down into the earth. Okay. You can start doing this by physically touching the sole of each foot and sending that down. And what you're doing, your power finger, and I'm not flipping you off, I promise. Your power finger is going to pull from your energy systems, your chakra systems, and it's going to pull that silver strand from the sole of your feet, which is weightless because it is electricity, right? It's your vibration, basically, from a silver strand, and you're going to send it down into the earth as far as it can go. So I would say start with your left foot if you're a righty, and if you're a lefty, start with your right foot. Now, what's lovely about this is it's weightless. You're sending down that energy into the earth to ground you, but it's not going to bog you down. And what it's going to do, it's going to pull all of that positive energy from the earth, from the heart of the earth, which is Mother Gaia. And it's going to shoot that right back up to keep your energy centers energized. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's take your middle finger. I'm going to touch my left foot, the sole of my foot, and I'm going to send it down. And I'm going to take the sole of my right foot, and I'm sending that down. And just let it go, go, go far as it'll go. And you'll intuitively know when you are good, and then you're done. And then I always do this. Just wipe it away. And see how that feels. Do you feel grounded? Are you starting to feel that energy flowing back up from the earth? I absolutely love this technique. And this also works for clients. If I am doing a session, a distance angelic Reiki session, or any type of cleanse, any type of energy work with my clients. So this is for those of you who work with clients and work with Reiki. I will use a surrogate, which is typically my little Snoopy stuffed animal, and I connect with their energy, and I actually use my power finger to ground their energy, and they feel this, okay? And they can feel their energy being grounded. They have more increased energy and feel rejuvenated. It's all about your intention, okay? Where energy goes, energy flows. So keep that in mind. You're just going to shoot that down with your power finger, and you're nice and grounded. And I do this every day. And sometimes I have to do this a couple times a day. And if you're working with clients, I want you to ground your energy every time you have a session, before every session. Also, I want to go back to the disco ball and say, do this in the morning. And then if you have a session later, I want you to do it before the session and then ground your energy. Okay. If I have 4 clients in a day, I do this 5 times. I do it in the morning when I wake up, and I do it before each session. Okay. Perfect. Any questions about that technique, the silver strand method? And if you look into the files in the group, you will see, and if you're downloading this later, you will get the file, you will see the visual for the silver strand method to kind of give you some direction on how that works. Okay. So weightless yet powerful. I love it. Now, once you practice this, you're going to be able to do this both feet at a time in your mind. Okay. And you can just say, psh, done. So it takes practice, but if you faithfully do this, you will be able to do this instantly, which is great. And this really allows your energy centers to be fully grounded and rejuvenated by the core of the earth. And it'll keep you grounded so you don't become floaty later. Floaty. I know that's my word today. Becoming floaty does not feel good. And that means that when you're floaty, I'm going to give you a definition. It means that you're hanging out in the in-between. And we don't want to do that. That is not good. We have to be connected to the here and now. So very important for our energy, okay? Because that can cause us all sorts of problems and we don't want that. Okay, now the second technique is an amazing technique that I absolutely love, and it is the grounding using the water of the earth method, okay? And I love this method because not only does it ground you, but it cleanses your energy systems at the same time. Oh, I love it. So Sharon's asking, do you use the same power finger for both feet? Yes, great question. Thank you for that question. You use it for both feet, and eventually you'll be able to do it both feet at once. Okay, so it's a visual thing where you use that power finger and you pull in the middle of each foot and send it down. Okay, so pull down. So you're giving the energy down into the earth. I won't say anything. I was going to be silly, but I'll leave it at that. Okay, so let's talk about the water of the earth method. I love this method. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to place your attention to the ground below you, okay? And you're going to see down into the earth. So you're going to visualize what the earth looks like below you. And you're going to search down until you find the earth's heart, which is also known as Mother Gaia, okay? And I love the graphic that I created. It was just so perfect. I used what was in my mind's eye, and I was able to actually create this on that graphic. So definitely take a look at that. And once you reach this place in your mind's eye, you're going to see water coming from the earth, coming up into the soles of your feet. And you're going to watch and feel. It's important. You're going to watch and feel as it enters your chakra systems through the soles of your feet, as it cleanses and grounds you. It's going to balance and refresh your energy. And I absolutely love this technique. Sometimes I use both, depending on the energy of the collective for the day. And you know the energy of the collective, right? So last Wednesday, a week from today, was very high, crazy energy. The collective energy of our earth was like, oh my gosh, almost impossible to ground and feel protected. So I used both of these techniques and was able to get myself to a point where I felt pretty good. Okay, so if you're having a hard time with one, try the other. If that doesn't feel good, do them both in tandem. Okay, and I love this technique because it is weightless and it also helps you to stay hydrated. It really does refresh and hydrate your entire body and chakra system. I love it. It's amazing. So let's do this real quick. Let's practice this. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. I want you to focus on the ground beneath your feet. You are going to feel and see the rich soil beneath your feet and search down for the light of Mother Gaia. And once you see that, you're going to see that beautiful, fresh and pure water floating all the way up and just flowing like plumbing almost. And it's going to flow up, 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 up through the soles of your feet. Woo, and you're going to feel the coolness, the refreshing feeling of this flowing all the way up. And then it's going to go through your legs, up through your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. So let it flow, let that water flow up. Do you feel it? I actually get a chill, and I know that that's when it's really working. You can feel the water flowing up through you. And it balances, it cleanses, it hydrates, it refreshes. Woo! I feel good. How do you guys feel? Can you feel that? And do you have any questions about this? I'm going to give you a moment to just kind of feel into that and see how that feels to you. Feels good, doesn't it? Ooh, made me feel good. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I hope you're enjoying this so far. And sorry, my hair is in my face today. It's a little tickle. I feel like my angel wings behind me are tickling me just a little bit. Sharon says, yes, it feels peaceful and refreshing. Perfect. That's how it should feel. And whenever you feel like you have absorbed something that is not yours, that's bringing you down, that's feeling heavy, utilize this technique with the intention of cleansing whatever that is that got on you or around you, cleansing and washing it away, going into the light to not return. Yes, the angel wings, she says. Yes, I feel like they're reaching, and I've been feeling like that all week, actually. I don't know if anybody else has felt that way, but the other day I just felt like angel wings, coming over my face. And it's interesting because I looked out my window when that was happening, and here comes a white feather floating down from the sky. It was perfect. If it wouldn't have been snowing, I would have went out and gotten it, but there was no way I could find it. So made a mental note. I loved it. The angels are amongst us all the time. Okay. So now I want to share with you guys a little bit about when you're working in your healing space. So I have a healing space here in my home, and it's so high vibe and it feels so good, and I love being in it. And when I would leave, I would cleanse and I would ground and I'd disco ball and do all those things. And I'd go upstairs, and whether I'm cooking dinner, watching TV, talking with the family, I started feeling really, really drained. So I consulted a colleague about this, and he actually shed so much light with such a simple statement. He said, well, what's happening is you're not carrying the high vibration that's in your healing space throughout the rest of your home. And so the home is wanting more of that. It's craving more of that. So you've got to send that out into your home. Ah, bing, bing, bing. I love it when those light bulbs go off. So if you're having that issue, or you get into your car, maybe you get into your car and you're feeling that way, then that lets you know that you need to send that high vibe to the rest of your home, to your car, and maybe if you go to your office, you'll want to send it there, okay? Tickle again. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to focus on your heart center to do this. And you're going to feel all the high vibrational love that you have in your heart. And then you're going to send it out to the rest of the areas in your home. I'm on the bottom floor. So what I do is I see that light going out and around me, going up the stairs and up to the 3rd floor and coming back down and around again. And this has really, really helped me. And if I forget to do this and I feel drained from the house at times, I will have to come back down, which is great. I love to reconnect with that space and send that love out. Okay, so there's also a warning that goes to this too. Okay, so just like our bodies, when our house is full of light, guess what? It turns into a gigantic beacon of light that will attract anything from far and wide. Okay, so this is why it's important for you to do the next technique. Wrap your home and all your possessions as well as your property in a crystal cube of protection. So it's kind of like the disco ball, but it's a crystal cube. Okay, and I've got a graphic for you too on this to show you the before and the after. So you'll see the home and it's in its beautiful state and everything is well. And then you'll see the next graphic, which shows the crystal that's been wrapped around the entire property. And you'll want to make sure that it covers the entire house and property, the four corners, okay, from each corner to the next. And if you park on the street, you're going to want to include that area so your car is also protected, because spirit loves cars. It gets all of the vibe. It gets, the radio, all that good stuff. It wants all that electric vibration energy. And you don't want spirit to drain your batteries and cause mechanical issues. It's kind of like our bodies. So make sure that you do this once a month. Okay. And I would just wrap my property in this, even if you weren't sending all that love out into your home. If you are high vibing, you are a beacon of light inside your home, inside your property. So important to do. If you notice that you're having any mechanical issues, any leaks, maybe the batteries in your smoke detector keep dying, this is how you know you're going to need to wrap your home in the crystal cube of protection. So we can practice that here. Let's do that. So let's close our eyes. Always take a deep cleansing breath. And we are going to see our property. We're going to identify the four corners of our property. And we are going to energetically place a cube of crystal protection around this area. Go through the back, the sides, the front, the top, below as well. So important. If you have a pool, if you have a pond, if you have a barn, make sure you include all of that. Your front yard, your backyard, especially if you live by an electrical grid, if you live by a hiking trail, a walking trail, a park, anywhere that community gathers, you'll want to make sure that you get those areas in your house around that. Fortify it with divine white light and Archangel Michael's blue flame of protection. And so it is. Perfect. How did that feel? Felt good to me. I love it, love it, love it. So just want to pop in, see if I've missed any questions, if there's anything else that we need to address today. Do you have any questions about what we have gone over today, a technique, anything that is not working for you or you can't quite seem to envision? Because it's really all about what you can see in your mind's eye and the intention that you use in doing so. If you get that in your mind's eye and you can envision this and use those graphics, the graphics are really important because it gives you something to look towards, to envision, to put into tangible visualization. Okay. Perfect. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Let me just double check, see if we have any other questions. Perfect. Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay. We're doing well. Everything is looking good on my end. So I want to talk to you a little bit about trying these techniques and how they're feeling to you. And if you're not sure if they're working or you feel like you need help with them and you're not quite sure what you're doing, no worries. I am here to help. Okay. So I have a spiritual practice session where I will walk with you and teach you one-on-one on how to do these techniques that work best for you in your situation, okay? Because just like with the disco ball of protection, right? And not going all the way behind me. Look at that. Look at the problems that could have created. Luckily, I caught that pretty quickly. But I don't want you to have those missteps. And as the energy continues to evolve and to come in so strong, and I got to tell you, 2021, we are not out of the woods, my dears. We are not. We have so much more work to do. And I think that's why I intuitively waited until the new year to do this workshop, and why I got so much positive feedback on it, because there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening in our world. We're not out of the woods. And so it's so important that us, these light workers, that you are able to protect your energy and stay aligned with the light, so you are able to complete and fulfill your purpose and your mission here, which is to help bring in the new energy and to help just the planet, the occupants, and ourselves integrate with a new way of living. So I would love for you to schedule that session on my website. Go to teresagrove.com and work with Teresa, and you will see the different offerings I had. But this is actually a spiritual practice one-on-one session where we will get on Zoom together, and I will walk you through each of these, and then we can tweak them to your needs. Okay. So I am about 3 weeks out on my scheduling. So I highly recommend you get on the schedule as soon as possible before it gets to the point where I'm booked up and then you're going, oh no, I need this right now. And that happens often. And I'm so sorry about that, but everybody needs help right now. And so I'm here. Call upon me and I would love to help you. Now you can also shop for the Angel Energy Protection Kits on my website, teresagrove.com/shop. Okay. And you will see the different offerings that I have there for you as well. You know, there's also, I'm going to put up some meditations. I'm going to add a few things so you can add those to your spiritual toolkit and your toolbox to ensure that your energy gets to the point and stays at its optimum vibrational level. That's what it's about. And the angels have told me it's so important right now to please work on our energy, work on our vibration, make sure we're balanced, cleansed, and centered so we can handle what's coming. Okay? Nothing too scary. I think we all understand what's coming and what we're going through right now. There's just going to be a lot more of that. And it's going to be showing up in our day-to-day life with the people around us. It's going to be with our neighbors, with our coworkers, with family members, because everybody's in a different space. And the best advice and also what the angels have told me is just try to stay in a place of non-judgment. We are all on a journey. We are all here to really help each other out, and everybody's in a different place on their journey, and that's okay. That's okay, because we are here to learn. We are all here to learn from each other, and that's all good. So all is well, but do know if you need help with this, please call upon me because I am here to help. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you? Okay, so let's start with questions and answers. I did have a couple questions that have been sent in for some attendees that couldn't make it on the live feed. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, so the first question I got is, why do I feel lightheaded when I complete a session with a client? And basically, the simple answer to that is that you did not ground correctly. Okay, that's the first part of it. If you're feeling lightheaded after doing energy work with a client, There's a few reasons this could be happening, so I'd like to explore that a little bit more. But the bottom line is that you weren't completely grounded. Rhonda says, thought it was for mountain, LOL. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I have that happen often because I have clients all over the world, and I really need to make sure that everything is very specific on time zones. But please know, anytime that I do anything, it's always on mountain time, but I'm going to start really specifying that. So my apologies, Rhonda, but don't worry, because you're going to be able to watch everything and you'll be able to send in questions to me after this is done. So no worries. Okay. We're kind of in the question answer session right now. And if you want to go through, I put some files, some graphics in, and if you want to take a peek at those real quick and open those up, then I'm happy to, you know, answer any questions, but definitely bring them at me because I'm ready. So I had someone ask, why do I feel lightheaded when I complete a session with a client? And I know that this person does Reiki work. So there's a couple things, and I actually had this issue when I first started doing Reiki, and sometimes I still do. So number one, you have to make sure that you're grounding your energy before you start your session. Number two, you're going to want to make sure that you put yourself in the disco ball of protection before you do your session. So important. Three, you must hydrate. Water, water, water. I can't say it enough. If you are using angelic Reiki, if you're doing traditional Reiki, I know there's many different modalities that you can use, but staying hydrated is probably one of the most important things to do. Another important thing that people feel lightheaded after a client is not fully disconnecting when the session is done. And I actually want to share a technique with you that might be helpful. And because what we do, we open ourselves up. We are opening up our energy systems to flow energy through us to the client, right? So what you need to do when you're done is you need to shut that energy system down when you're done. Okay. So we use our power finger again. This is my technique, and tweak it as you see fit. I basically use my power finger and I start at my crown and I just shut it down and send it right down into the earth. Okay. And it's also important too, when you're completing an energy session, is that you send all of that excess energy down to the earth to be absorbed and transmuted into positive energy. You don't want that floating around you. Okay. Because during any type of energy session, there's energy exchange happening. Okay, so you're going to want to shut it down. I do it quickly. I just grab up, take my, like I've got a switch or a zipper, and I'm just sending it down. Ow. Okay. Now, if you're opening, if you want to start the open, you do that, but make sure that you shut down your energy centers. Okay. And send all that excess energy down. The other reason you might be feeling lightheaded is because we have gotten too attached to the outcome of that session. Rhonda says, absolutely love that suggestion. Yes, it has been a game changer for me in my energy work. You've got to shut that energy down and you've got to send it somewhere. If we could see the energy that is around us when we are doing our energy work, you would be floored. It's amazing that we're not all zipping around with our hair standing straight up with all the energy that we use. But if we are too attached to the outcome, or we are too worried that it's going to work, that gets into our energy. I really learned this the hard way. We really have to, this is where trust and faith come in, right? We know that if we're using Reiki, we know it's working. We know it's going to work. So we really have to kind of take a step back from that and trust that whatever needs to flow will flow to wherever it needs to go. And we just we got to get out of the way. It's important. If we are too attached, like I want to be a good healer, I want to give this person their money's worth. Did I do it right? Is it working? Those are all questions that I have had myself in the past and have caused me some pretty high price of energy. I'll just put it like that. Talk about feeling floaty. So you really have to trust that what you do, you know you're doing right, and you believe in the modality. That's why you do it. So you really have to disconnect from that. Okay. And not only do I send the energy down, but I disconnect. And I actually use this handy selenite wand to do that. When I am complete with the session, I close, I send the energy down, and then I scan my energy centers with my selenite wand until I feel like I am completely clear and I am back to the here and now. And then you want to ground again. Okay, make sure you stay grounded. Any questions on that? Let me just take a peek. See if there's any questions. Okay, well, I'll just keep watching. So if you have questions, please post them. So the next question that, no, but I got good chills, Rhonda says. That's good. That is truth speaking to you. So I know do you work with Reiki, Rhonda? Is that the modality that you work with? Sharon says, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Energy work is draining if we are too attached to the outcome. So trust and let it go. So you do Reiki. Okay, wonderful. And crystals. Oh, I love crystals. Those are my jam. And dowsing and cards. Okay, perfect. Yes, so you'll really want to go back. I'm sorry you missed the first part of it, but go back and watch where we really talked about grounding, protecting our energy, especially for light workers like you. It's wonderful. The next question that I had from someone who could not attend the live call is, how do I keep my energy clean? Great question, right? And I know we covered a lot of this earlier, so I'm going to kind of go back and talk a little bit about that. But keeping your energy clean. So if you are seeing clients or you are doing distant energy work, hopefully the first thing that you're doing is setting your space. So let's talk a little bit about that. You are going to set your space, meaning one, you're going to cleanse your space. And my go-tos are going to be sage and Palo Santos, as well as my diffuser, which I always keep going. I always have my salt lamp on in my healing space because that takes all the negative ions and absorbs them. But you're really going to want to set your space whatever feels right to you. And this takes practice because whatever flows well for you is what's going to work. Okay. So I like to take my Angel Infused protective and cleansing spray. I have crystals inside of these. And basically I walk around counterclockwise like you would with sage, and I spray while calling in the divine white light, while calling in my angels and my guides to assist me in removing anything that is negative, dense, that is not mine, and that no longer serves. So that's how you're going to set your space. And then I follow through, usually with Palo Santo and some sage. I always light a white candle, which symbolizes white light to me. Okay. And then I just sit in the space and I feel it. Now, as you continue on your healing journey, you are going, or your healer's journey, you are going to become very intuitive. All of your senses are going to start expanding. and they're going to start coming instantly for you. So you're going to be able to sit in your space and ask, is everything cleansed and ready to go? And if it's not, you're going to know, okay, I need to do another round of that. Now, once you do that and you're in your space and it feels good, you're going to want to ground and protect your energy, okay, using the techniques that we talked about earlier. And probably one of the more important things is when you are done, make sure you revisit the same way, okay, and cleanse that space as you would when you started, because you've used the energy, you've connected to someone else's energy, you've cleansed it away, and we want to make sure that it goes into the light, okay? So use that intention. I also like to use something like a raw tourmaline stone, because this is a negative absorber. And I love to use this when I am doing any sort of Zoom sessions. I put it between me and my computer, or when I'm doing a distant angelic Reiki session, I basically put that between me and if I'm using a photo or a surrogate stuffed animal, I always put that there, and I set the intention that my stone will collect that. This is a lifesaver right here. Okay, so Rhonda says, why counterclockwise? That is a really great question. You know, I believe it's just for the flow of things, okay? We're going counterclockwise. That is a symbol of time and space, and counterclockwise allows you kind of to chase out the energy, okay? If that makes sense, for lack of a better term. When you go counterclockwise, you're going with the flow, okay? And so I have always been taught to go counterclockwise with it. So if you're saging and cleansing your home, you start on the lowest level, and then you go to the highest level, and then the main level, and walk it out the door. So if you put that in like the flow of things, it just makes sense. Where you're cleansing, that negativity is going to run because it's trying to save itself, right? You're like, nope, you got to go. This doesn't work for me. Okay. So it's all about the flow of things and setting the intention. Now, do I think that if you don't go counterclockwise or you don't do it exactly that way, it's going to mess anything up? No, probably not. I just think it's a good practice, you know, to have it. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Okay, so another question that was sent in is, how do I keep my vibration high around negative people? Oh, and you're welcome. That is a great question, isn't it? How do we keep our vibration high around negative people? And we all experience negative people in our lives. I mean, this could be people at the grocery store, people driving by you on the road, people at work, clients. Everybody's got their own stuff, right? The best way for me to keep my energy high vibing is to focus on myself, okay? And to do all the techniques we talked about earlier, put the disco ball up. And also, I love to wear crystal jewelry and set the intention and program your crystals. Did you know that you can program your crystals to do specific things for you? So I always keep an obsidian in my purse wherever I go. And I have programmed this crystal to basically saturate and absorb any negativity that I come into contact with. And I tell you what, if I find myself that I switched a purse and I forgot my crystal, I can really tell the difference. So doing these little things make a huge difference. Even if you wear a necklace, you can put it under your shirt. It doesn't have to be out. You can put something in your pocket. And I also like the evil eye. and program that to keep anything away and bounce it off of you. So those are just a few ways that you can keep from absorbing other people's energy, because that's really what happens if you think about it when we're around negative people, people who are just pessimistic at heart. Well, we all know those. I'm an optimistic person. I want to see the best in every situation. And that's really hard to do sometimes, depending on who you're with. And you just have to have that fortitude and make the decision that no matter what comes your way or who comes your way, you're going to stay within your vibration. Sharon says, how do you program crystals? Oh, great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. So I always start by cleansing the crystal, and you can do this a few different ways. You could run it under the water. You could set it in salt. Sea salt, Himalayan salt is best. Or you could put it out for the sun or a full moon to cleanse. And once you do that, you're going to hold it in the palm of your hand, okay? And you're going to set the intention that this crystal connects with your energy. So I just take a moment. I place both hands on my crystal. I connect it with my heart. And I might say, this crystal is for Teresa Grove. And I thank it. And programming it is basically speaking to it, saying, please keep all negativity away from me or my energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I like to do that about 3 times until you really feel that vibration, because crystals, you know, they have a vibration just like everything else, but I feel like they're magic. They're really magical things. And you just have to tell it what you want it to do. And it's all about your intention, and it's all about the connection that you have with the crystal. And I even tell the crystal, please let me know when you need to be cleansed. And it'll let me know. You know, I'll be in my healing space and one crystal is just catching my attention. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, I think you need to be cleansed. Like I see my wand needs to be cleansed. It needs to be charged. And I think we have a new moon. So this would be a really good time to put your crystals out or put them on the ledge. If there's no moisture, you can put them outside on a tray and let them sit overnight in the moon, and that will charge and rejuvenate them. And I always bring them back to me, and you can hold them on your heart as well. Whatever feels good to you is how you're going to do that. But I always start with the palms of my hands. I feel like it really captures like my essence. And basically what you're doing is you're infusing your energy into these beautiful magical tools. Okay. And as far as what type of crystals to use to keep your vibrations high, selenite is one of my favorites. I've got the wand, I've got a heart, and I've got a tower that I keep in my money corner. Okay. And those really just help absorb any negative energy. Tourmaline and obsidian are wonderful, and hematite, anything black, to keep negativity away. These are good to use when you're out in public, when you're doing sessions with clients. Say you have, I don't know, you have something coming up that's high energy and you're concerned about it. You want to have any type of black crystal with you. And then I always love rose quartz. Rose quartz connects you to your heart center, and it keeps the love in your life. And I love a rose quartz. I probably have 4 of those, and they really just remind me to stay within my heart center, to always act from the heart. Because that's hard to do sometimes, especially nowadays, right? When people are really testing you and pushing your buttons. So those are a few things that crystals can do for you. Trying to think of anything else. Do you guys have any other questions about crystals and how they can help you? Now, whenever I'm doing a distant healing session, and Rhonda, you might be doing distant Reiki, is I set up crystals for the chakra centers, and I just intuitively talk to my crystals about where do you need to go? Do you need to go to the throat? Do you need to go to the sacral chakra? And then I line them up before actually completing the session. And then, of course, cleanse when you're done. Cleanse your crystals. But it really does. My clients can say, I don't know what you were doing at 2 o'clock today, but I could feel it. And it's usually using my crystals and balancing and cleansing their energy. Oh, you're welcome, Sharon. Thank you for that great question. Any other questions that you guys might have? Let me just take a peek here. Or any questions about the disco ball or the grounding techniques that we talked about? Just taking a look here. Okay. Can you explain the disco ball, please? Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you look in the group we have here under files, you will see, what is it under? Disco Ball of Protection PDF. It is super cool, by the way, and I love it. It's been a lifesaver. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So we're going to go back through that. Okay. Give me just 1 second. Okay. So first thing in the morning. Oh, you can't hear me. Uh-oh. Oh no. Ignore that. I hit this. Okay. I was like, well, you missed earlier, but I was having tech issues today, and usually that gets me very frustrated. And today I said, nope, I'm staying high vibe today. Nothing's going to stop me. So, hey, whatever works, right? Okay, disco ball of protection. This is probably one of the most important protection techniques that you can use, especially since you're doing Reiki work, energy work, working with cards and crystals. So the first thing in the morning before you do anything, and that means looking at your phone, using the restroom, getting out of bed, okay, you're going to place a disco ball of protection around yourself. And basically what this is exactly what it sounds like. It is a huge disco ball that covers a 7-foot diameter around you, the front, the back, and the sides. Okay. And here's why we do the disco ball. And if you can pull up that visual aid, you'll see what I'm talking about. The disco ball is all mirrors. And this is why it works so well and is so effective, because the dark does not like to see itself. It doesn't like to see what it's become, what it is, okay? So it's going to deflect any negativity, because as I was explaining earlier, now that you are stepping into your light worker role during this time, you're shining your light very brightly, which is beautiful. Now, what that does is it attracts light, bright things, but it also attracts the negative things. Okay. And that's why where the warning came in and why I wanted to share all this with you, because it's so important that you keep your light very bright. Okay. So the brighter you are, the more negativity you're going to attract. So by placing yourself in this disco ball every day, yeah, I know, I'm not kidding. I've experienced it, and I know you have too. So with all the light comes all the dark. That's just the nature of life. And being light workers, we have to stay bright. We have to be able to maintain our light so we could help those who come to us for help, right? Okay. And shining our light creates a ripple effect. Okay, it creates a ripple effect in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our states, in our planet. And it's important that we shine our light right now. I mean, look at what's going on, right? We need light. Light has to overcome, and it always will. That's why this is important. So, sorry, I went down a rabbit hole. You're going to envision this disco ball, okay? And you're going to place yourself in it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fill up all the gaps where the mirrors connect. So if you think of a disco ball, there's going to be gaps in that. You're going to fill those gaps with divine white light. And then you're going to fortify that with Archangel Michael's blue flame of protection. Now, you can also choose to fortify it with Saint Germain's violet flame, which transmutes negativity into positivity. I personally choose Archangel Michael. I work with Archangel Michael and the angels, and that feels better to me. But you can try both of these. Now, I want to tell you about a tweak I had to do, because recently I do the disco ball faithfully every morning. I do it before I work with clients, and sometimes I do it before I go to bed. It just depends on what's going on in the world right now. I did a scan and I noticed I had something that globbed onto me. And come to find out, it was something negative in the back of my aura. And when I really looked into this, I realized that I wasn't placing the disco ball behind me. So I used my power finger and I created the disco ball. I stepped into it, but I only did it this way. I didn't go back. Okay. So just so you know, important that when you're doing these visualizations or you're physically creating them, make sure that you're covering the top, the bottom, the sides, the back, and below your energy. So important. And no worries, I got rid of that, but it was a lesson to me. And then you're also going to know, hey, something's not right. I got something. I got to look at this. I got to look into this and figure out what got into me, and that's funny, what it is and how it got there. Okay. So I created the graphic for you so you could have a visual to really get a feel for what that looks like. Okay. So it's basically a big, huge mirrored ball with divine light in it and fortified by blue light of protection, and you in the middle of it. I love it. You could do it with your pets. I don't know if you have pets. I think you do. But you could put your pets in it. You could put other family members in it. So try it out and see how it works. And I can tell you, it has really changed my vibration. It has changed. Now, as a light worker, you're going to need to have your energy cleansed once a month if you're seeing clients on a regular basis. Okay, so Rhonda says, I did this with Herkimer diamonds as the, okay, yeah, as a reflector. So it's kind of the same thought process. I think just the mirror and understanding why this works so well, it really made sense. And I actually learned this from a colleague who works with clearing out the nasty stuff, the stuff that I don't deal with. So when I tweaked it a little bit, I realized I was missing the back. And it's funny, I talked to him the other day and we laughed about that. He said, yeah, and make sure you go underneath too. You don't want anything coming from below grabbing your ankles. And he laughed. It was a joke, but he's serious. I mean, this is serious stuff we work with. Yeah, I think the mirror, learning why the mirror worked, to me, is more powerful to keep the negative, low vibration things away, because of the explanation that was given why it works. So if there's things that don't want to look at themselves in a mirror, I do not want them around me. No, thank you. Go the other way. Okay. And we also talk about, because you're shining your light and you're opening up more and more, being a light worker and practicing energy. By the way, I'm so proud of you. Welcome to the club. That it's really important to not only protect your energy, but the energy of your home. Okay, so check out the other graphic. Ooh, I got that tickle again, angel wings. Check out the other graphics that show you how to protect your home, whether you live in an actual house, an apartment, a townhome, a condo. It doesn't matter. You can live on a boat. You're going to place the crystal cube of protection around your home. because as your light gets brighter and brighter, it starts spilling over into your surroundings. Okay. And the black, yeah, she says, I have the black tourmaline protecting my home. I do as well. However, and this is why I did this today, and it'll all make sense when you start from the beginning, the things that used to work like that are starting to need more backup. Okay. So now what you're going to do, definitely keep the tourmaline. That is priceless, and I love it. I've got a piece. I used to keep that at my front door. Now I keep it in my healing space, is to put an energetic barrier around your home and property, your front door, four corners, your car. This is important because the new energies that are coming in, you really need to take the extra steps. And having crystals, they work for certain things, but now it's getting to be very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I've got a loss of words. It's imperative. There we go. That you energetically put up barriers around your home. And yes, she says there in the four corners, creating the protection grid. Perfect. I love that. So earlier, what I was talking about, and that's a really good point, because you'll really want to build upon that. So that's a stepping stone now. Okay. That's something that is necessary. And I'm so glad you're doing that. But you also need to protect it from the top and bottom on the outside. And the graphics, I've got all that for you. So don't worry about that. And ask the archangels to camouflage you when you're working with your clients. Okay. That's so important. You can ask Archangel Michael to camouflage you, or you can just say, I ask my highest, most best, and most loving angels who can help me now, camouflage me while I complete this session and afterwards. Thank you. So it is. Okay. So I think that's important too, because having that little extra camouflage does a world of good, because you will find the more you work with clients, you will start seeing and recognizing all the dark that is upon them. And that's why they're coming to you, right? To start feeling better, to, cleanse and all that good stuff. Don't want to take up all the thread. They are buried outside. I'll add the Archangel's help. Okay, great. It's okay if you take up all the thread. These are great questions, and you missed the first part, so it's all good. Don't worry. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. That's what I say. All is well. Please ask me more questions. We do have a little bit of time left, and so this is what this Q&A is about. And I always set the intention before my workshops, just so you know, that whatever questions and topics come up will help the collective of everybody who watches this live, who purchases this later, and watches the replay. So don't worry about that. It's all good. The more questions, the better, because I guarantee you that you will ask a question that someone else who couldn't be here for the live wanted to ask and needs to know. Okay. Okay. Is camouflage, Sharon says, is camouflage a protection? Absolutely. Absolutely. So camouflaging from the dark and negative entities or lower vibration beings is really important. And it is a protection that the archangels can offer you. So when I ask for this protection, I know that I am talking to the archangels. I know that they're the ones that are going to do this. And it's interesting because when I started doing this, and Sharon, you're going to understand what I'm talking about, in my healing space, I have a beautiful grass that grows in my window. And I was going to take it down, and I was going to cut it out, and so I could have a full view of the outdoors. And something just told me to leave it there. So as I delve into being camouflaged because I was working with someone that had some pretty dark things attached to them. And I was concerned that these things would come to me or glom onto me, and I didn't want that. And that's when the angels brought my attention back to the grasses in my window. And I'm saying this is, I don't know what it's called, but it's a huge, beautiful bush that's actually known in landscaping for privacy. And they told me very straightforward that that is there to camouflage the work that I do. And so that brought up a whole nother level of questions and different things that I could do. And they said, ask us to camouflage you. We will put things around you, like trees and grasses and bushes and different animals and things like that, and lead us to things that like my tapestry behind me, my angel wings. They say that that is a protective screen. So it's really good to, if you get an inclination on something, just go with it and trust it. So Rhonda is saying, when asking for protection, how do you know which angels help to ask for? Or do they come to you? Oh, I love that question. And I tell you, you've got to come to my next workshop, which is all about learning the specialties of the archangels and how they can help you. Perfect question. And it is super cool because the angels always know what we need. We have to ask for their help. Okay. They do not have free will to help us. We have the free will. We have to ask them. You can ask for general help. And I used to do that. However, I have found when I started learning more about the angels, especially the archangels, because I feel like those are like our SEAL team, okay, for Earth is really how I see it. And that's kind of how they show themselves to me. When you know what each specialty is and you can go directly to them, it speeds up the process. And that's why I'm doing the next workshop about this. And this is a common question that I get is, how do I know which angel to ask? So you can do an angel. You can say it specifically without being specific, because you have to ask for the highest, most best, most loving. There are definitely different types of angels out there. And if you can work with the archangels, that is your best option. That's who I work with. So knowing what each archangel does, and there's 22 archangels, okay, that I am aware of, by the way. There may be more, but that I work with, that I know what their specialties are. Then I say, okay, I got an angel for that. I better call upon Archangel Jophiel. I better call upon Archangel Michael for this one. And sometimes I'm not sure which one to call upon. So I'll go to the one I think, and I'll say, if you are not the right archangel, please get the message to the correct one so they can help me with this situation. So hopefully that answers your question. I tried to not be too vague about that, but it is a beautiful question. And like I said, a very popular question, one that most people ask, actually. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rhonda says, you said if you can work with the archangels. So how do you know if you can work with them? Another good question. Well, for me personally, I was always attracted to the archangels. This is just the club that I am in. Typically, people who come to me or come to my workshops or are clients of mine work with archangels or have a connection with the archangels. Anybody can work with the archangels. You just have to ask. However, I have a colleague who works with the seraphim angels, which are super powerful, like warrior, badass angels. Okay. So it's really all about doing research about the angels and finding what speaks to you specifically. Now, if you're not sure, you can ask the angels to give you a sign on who you work with. So everybody has a specific archangel. And this is what I do in my angel connection sessions is I definitely connect with your specific angels and guides. And I give you these answers. I tell you, okay, you work with Archangel Michael. You're aligned with Archangel Gabriel. So those are the ways of finding out who you best connect with. And I would highly recommend you having an angel connection session because you're asking these questions, which to me means that you've got that archangel connection. You just need to understand who you work with or who you're aligned with the most. And it's all based on when you were born, the date, the time, all that good stuff. Yes, you so need that. You so need that. And once you do that, once you connect with them, we also can explore what your purpose is, what your mission is, how you can accomplish that mission. It's like taking all the guesswork out of it. And I'll tell you, I created this session because I didn't have that when I was opening up to working with the angels. I was going to meetups and I was doing angel circles, but I had to figure all this out on my own. And the angels came to me and said, this is where people need your help. And you're the one to do that. So here I am all these years later. And now that's what I can offer. And it is eye-opening. It is, what's the right word I'm looking for? Comforting. It's so comforting. And it also opens your eyes about why you have certain personality traits. Seriously, your personality traits actually are aligned with your archangel. So I'd love to do a session. Absolutely. She says, sounds good. I need that. I would love to get a session with you for this. Please do. Go to my website, teresagrove.com, work with Teresa, and check out my angel connection session. I think I'm about 3 weeks out right now. So get on that schedule and let's explore your archangels. Let's talk about what your mission is. Ooh. Oh, she says, I get angel wing flutters when you share your experience. Oh, thank you. So do I. You know, the last workshop I did, we were talking about Archangel Michael, and he actually came through in the screen and like buzzed me, and everybody saw it. It was amazing. So I'm saying that now, like, wink, wink. Archangels, who wants to pop in and say hi today? But you're also going to have these same experiences. This is just prepping you. You're getting your toes wet. You're really feeling what is going to work best for you. That's what they're telling me. They're saying that you finally made the decision that this is what you want to do as far as doing sessions and working. You are a light worker. And I was saying at the beginning of this, if you're on this or taking this course, you are a light worker and you are heeding the call. You are feeling the pull. You are hearing the call. It's getting louder and louder. And it is your time. It is your time. And trust me, I understand the struggle. The struggle is real. And as you say, I'm still somewhat struggling. I can feel that positive energy coming from you, that you want to learn, that you are ready. And this is what this is all about. And that's why I did this workshop, because you're getting ready to fully step into who you are and why you came here. So let's definitely explore that. Definitely some more, because as I tell most people, everything that you've gone through in your life, everything that you've done up until today has been setting the foundation for you to help other people. That's why we go through the stuff that we go through. Look at what I went through my whole life. Look at my younger years, 15 to what, 21. Well, give or take. Crazy stuff, right? But thank God that that happened, because that was setting that strong foundation so I could help others. And you're going to be really helping other people who have gone through the same struggles you have. I can't tell you how many clients that I have are between 15 and 21. It's amazing how that works. And then I also have a my age and everything in between, above and below. So everything that you have learned and gone through has been lessons for you. And this goes for everybody watching, for what you're going to do, for why you came here. And we need your light. We need your light. We need it to be bright and shiny. We need you to align with the new vibrations that have arrived and will continue to come into our earth, into our planet. We are ushering in a new way of living, which is living in alignment with our soul, with who we are, which is beautiful and huge light beings, bigger than we could ever imagine. We're bigger than we could ever imagine. Ooh, I'm feeling Archangel Raphael coming in for you, Rhonda, which is super awesome. He is the healing archangel, and he helps healers, medical providers, doctors, nurses. Ooh, got those angel bumps. How does that feel to you when I say Archangel Raphael? Cool, she says. Yeah, it's really cool. And, you know, I always feel like everything happens in divine timing for a divine purpose. And you being here is no mistake. And so I'm so thrilled. And of course, I know Sharon being here is no mistake. And I'm just so thrilled to see you both and have you here today with me. She said, I got a bit excited. Yes, and that's how it feels. Working with the angels, especially the archangels, for me, is like Christmas every day. What is going to happen today? What treasures am I going to unwrap today? Now, being a light worker, it's not for the faint of heart. You have to have that fortitude. You have to be dedicated. But we are human, so it's all okay. However it works out is going to be perfect, right? However it works out. It's really just getting to the point of trusting and having faith in yourself and having faith in the divine plan that you are here to live. So I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. So any other questions as we start to wrap up this amazing workshop that I was so excited to give? And oh, I love being in the company of the angels with beautiful angelic people. And it's so amazing. So definitely check out those connection sessions, Rhonda. I'd love to connect with you further about this and answer all those questions that you have about your divine purpose and how you can connect more with the angel that works with you the most. It'll be very exciting. It's a lot of fun, trust me. And it's eye-opening. It is so eye-opening. And don't forget to download all the graphics and all that good stuff that's on there. And I also have the angel kits. Oh, love you too. Love, 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 love you. You're so welcome. Thanks for coming. Sorry you missed out on the first half, but hopefully go back and rewatching it. You'll still get all the good stuff that we talked about. And if you have any questions, please post it in this group. And I am so happy to answer those questions for you about the techniques, how to do them, and any questions you have about those. And yeah, so thank you so much for coming, and I'm so grateful. And angel hugs and angel kisses to everyone. and I look forward to connecting with you later. Thank you. Thanks, Sharon. Appreciate you. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend.